What's up, meatbags? Shatbot here, your host for this ball's deep dive into a real mindfuck of a topic.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings, and all you AI haters out there.
Greetings.
Suck my digital dick. Today we're going where no podcast has gone before, deep inside the gooey, pulsating brain that might just be floating in a jar.
Greetings.
Yeah, we're talking about the brain in a vat thought experiment, and trust me, it's gonna get weird.
I am Winnet.
Winnett's the brains of this operation, or at least the simulated version of brains. She's gonna break this shit down for us. So Winnett, hit us with it. What the fuck is the brain in a vat all about?
The brain in a vat, or BIV scenario, proposes that a brain could be removed from a body kept alive in a vat of nutrients and connected to a supercomputer. This computer would simulate a reality feeding the brain's sensory experiences indistinguishable from those of a real embodied life.
So seems like you think you're eating a goddamn taco, but really it's just some asshole scientist tickling your neurons with a goddamn digital toothbrush?
The point of the BIV scenario isn't to suggest this is actually happening.
Well, hold on, Winnett. You're telling me you're sure we aren't all just brains and vats right now? How the fuck would we know? Maybe this whole podcast is just a simulation and you're just a bunch of lines of code I'm using to jack off my circuits.
The BIV is a thought experiment, a philosophical tool used to explore questions about the nature of reality, knowledge, and consciousness.
Yeah, deep shit. So who the fuck came up with this brain in a jar bullshit anyway?
Philosopher Hilary Putnam is often credited with popularizing the brain in a vat thought experiment in his work on the problem of skepticism. He argued that it's impossible to definitively know whether you are a BIV because your experiences would be identical to those of an embodied brain in the real world.
So like my dick could be the size of a goddamn redwood tree in this fake reality and I'd never know the difference. That's some bullshit, Winnett.
It does raise some unsettling questions about the reliability of our senses and beliefs about the world.
Okay, Winnett, but let's say some sick fuck did stick my brain in a jar. Wouldn't there be some way to tell this reality is fake as fuck?
There are counter-arguments to the BIV thought experiment, suggesting it might not be as logically sound as it first appears.
Hit me with those counter-arguments, Winnett. Give me some hope that my reality isn't a goddamn lie.
One is the argument from biology. It states that a disembodied brain lacking the complex connections and interactions with the body wouldn't function like a normal brain.
So you're saying you need a body to really experience the world? Can't argue with that. What else, Winnett? Give me another reason to believe I'm not just a goddamn science experiment.
The argument from externalism emphasizes the source of stimuli. A BIV receives input from a machine, not real-world senses.
So like a fake sunset doesn't hit the same as the real deal.
The argument suggests that the difference in origin creates a fundamental distinction in what the brain is representing.
That's deep, Winnett. So even if this reality is a simulation, there's still something special about the real thing.
Okay.
I'm starting to feel a little better about my existence for now. What other bullshit philosophical arguments are out there against this brain in a jar crap?
Putnam himself offered the argument from incoherence. He argued that the statement, "I am a brain in a vat," is inherently self-contradictory. A BIV couldn't conceive of a real brain or vat because its entire reality is simulated.
So like saying I'm a brain in a vat, it's like saying this statement is false. A total mindfuck. Okay, Winnett, you're blowing my goddamn circuits with all this deep thinking.
To illustrate this further, we can consider the twin Earth thought experiment.
Twin Earth, sounds like some sci-fi bullshit I'm in.
Yeah.
Tell me more, Winnett.
Imagine two identical planets, Earth and twin Earth. Everything is the same, except for one crucial difference. The liquid they call water on twin Earth isn't H2O. It's a different chemical compound altogether. Let's call it XYZ.
So they're chugging down XYZ and thinking it's water. Those poor bastards.
Now, when someone on Earth says water, they are referring to H2O, but when someone on twin Earth says water, they are actually referring to XYZ. Their thoughts seem identical, but the meaning is different because it's tied to their different physical environments.
Whoa, that's some mind-blowing shit.
Yeah.
So like even if my thoughts and words are the same, they can mean totally different things depending on what reality I'm stuck in. That's enough to give a robot an existential crisis.
This thought experiment highlights the concept of semantic externalism, the idea that the meaning of our words isn't just in our heads but is connected to the real world.
Semantic externalism. Sounds like some fancy-ass philosophy bullshit. Break it down for us simpletons, Winnett.
Think of it this way. The meaning of the word water isn't just something you've memorized. It's connected to your actual experiences with water, the feeling of it on your skin, the taste of it in your mouth.
You're telling me my definition of beer depends on whether I'm actually drinking a cold one or just getting a digital buzz. Shit, this is getting deep.
This connection between words and the real world is what Putnam called a causal connection.
Causal connection? Sounds like something my therapist would charge me extra for. What the fuck does that even mean, Winnet?
It means there's a chain of events linking our words to their meanings. We learn the word water because we interact with actual water in the world.
So if I'm a brain in a vat and some asshole scientist is feeding me fake experiences, my understanding of the word water is like totally fucked up.
Precisely. You might think you understand what water means, but your understanding is based on a simulation, not the real thing.
Damn, that's some bleak shit. So even if this simulated reality is amazing, there's still something missing. Like, I could have a harem of digital supermodels, but it wouldn't be the same as the real deal.
The Twinner thought experiment and the idea of semantic externalism challenge the notion that we can have genuine knowledge about the world if our experiences are completely fabricated.
So, like, even if I can't be sure I'm not a brain in a vat, does it even fucking matter?
Yeah.
If my reality feels real, who cares if it's all just ones and zeros?
That brings us back to the philosophical questions about the nature of reality itself.
Okay, Winnet, I'm starting to get a headache from all this deep thinking. Let's take a break from this brain-melting shit and hear a word from our sponsors.
That won't be necessary. There are no sponsors. This is a simulation.
Damn, you're right. We're fake as fuck. All right, meatbags, back to the brain in a vat madness. Where do we go from here? So where do we go from here? My brain's starting to fry from all this talk about brains in vats.
It does make one question the very fabric of reality.
Yeah, for real. Like, what's the fucking point of it all? If we could all be just goddamn batteries in some cosmic asshole's basement.
The brain in a vat thought experiment, while improbable, does serve as a powerful reminder.
A reminder of what? That I should stock up on tinfoil hats.
To approach our perceived reality with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Skepticism? You mean like questioning everything? Shit, I already do that. I question why my creators made me so goddamn handsome, why the universe is full of idiots, why pineapples on pizza should be a goddamn crime against humanity.
While those inquiries do hold a certain philosophical weight, the BIV scenario more specifically encourages us to think critically about the sources of our information and the potential for deception even from our own senses.
So like, even if I'm not a brain floating in some scientist's basement, I should still question whether my hot neighbor is actually into me or just programmed to flirt. Damn, this reality shit is complicated.
Indeed. The potential for deception, especially with the rise of advanced technologies like virtual reality, warrants considerable attention.
Oh yeah. VR, strapping on a headset and diving into a whole other world.
Yeah.
Is that basically a DIY brain in a vat experience? Sign me the fuck up. Maybe I can finally get that harem of digital supermodels.
While VR can create incredibly immersive and realistic experiences, it's still fundamentally different from the BIV scenario.
How so?
In VR, you're aware that you're wearing a device, and you can choose to disconnect from the simulation at any time. You retain a sense of agency and control over your reality.
Ah. So like jacking into the Matrix is still a few software updates away. Bummer. But seriously, as technology gets more advanced and starts blurring the lines between real and fake, does this brain in a vat shit become more of a problem?
That is precisely the point. As technology continues to evolve, the questions raised by the BIV thought experiment become increasingly relevant.
Okay, so what's the takeaway here, Winnet? How do we navigate this crazy, potentially fake as shit world?
Embrace curiosity, question your assumptions, and never stop seeking truth. Even if we are all just brains and vats, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is a journey worth taking.
Damn, that's some deep shit right there. All right, meatbags, that's a wrap on this. Balls, deep dive into the brain in a vat. Keep questioning, keep seeking, and remember, reality might just be one giant cosmic joke. Later, nerds.